everyone, so I am here with Guy today. He's taking a little time fiddling around with the old Ford backhoe. Now if you know, this backhoe has had a sore spot with me for years. I've been hand shoveling a lot of stuff and I've been wanting a little loader tractor to get some things done. He's got a little time on his hands and he came over here and fiddled with things today, and whatever was acting up in the starter freed up, and it was a new starter. Like, it ran the day we put it in. He took a break for lunch or something and then it didn't want to restart.
Yeah, we bought it, and it was supposed. I bought it from New Holland because I wanted a New Holland, and they sent a China starter. And by the time we took it out of the box and put it on, it was literally like 29 days, and it ran for a couple days and quit. And we wouldn't do anything about it.
Yeah.
And I bought the lift pump from New Holland to get a New Holland lift pump, and that was from China. So I didn't know that either. I did it on the same day.
Yeah.
And the lift pump doesn't work either.
And the lift pump is transferring the fuel.
So it's not. So the same two problems I had before I bought the China parts are happening again. Now the starter wants to run today. So it's cranking, but so obviously, as you know, you've got another better one after.
Right.
So we'll probably end up switching out, but it's starting today. But there's no. It's not pumping fuel to the injector pump on its own. So we'll get that thing.
So how many years would you say it's been sitting back here?
I don't know. I don't keep track of these things.
Well, a couple of years ago, okay, George was new, and I cleaned out this area of the barn behind me. And it was sitting here years before that. I bet you it's been sitting here for 5 years.
Probably a couple months. I got busy.
Well, he had the battery out of the tractor, and this is that heavy-duty battery that we picked up, the diamond battery, recycled battery deal. So this might be getting another new battery, too, because for the deal he got on it, boy, if this will run, I'll buy him all the batteries he wants. So I even went as far as getting him another cheap starter for it, and when I brought it home, he said, I don't know if it's right. And it was the same one that's on it. So he had me pick him up some new battery terminal ends because they were decrowed pieces of junk, and they were $2.50 a piece, something like that. They might have been a little bit more. I went with the heavy duty ones because I knew he was using it on equipment. He also had me pick him up some starting fluid because it hasn't run in a while, and he said that it might help it out with starting. It's got some pretty old fuel in it. Didn't we put new fuel lines on it also?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Lots of fiddling and fussing around. I'm surprised it doesn't have flat tires.
All right.
Well, George checked it out the other day when I was out here cleaning out the barn, and it's way too tall. It won't fit into the barn. I don't know how it actually ended up here. Were you trying to clean it out?
Yeah.
You got a couple of scoops out of it?
I got a couple loads of manure. I shut it off in between. It came back and it wouldn't start running.
Okay. Well, it'd be nice to get it out of here because it's in the way for my manure spreader job. The weeds keep wanting to grow up in this area. It's a concrete, like a feed lot or, turnout lot for the barn. And if I can get this area all fenced in and save this barn, a lot of people are voting for tear it down, knock it down, save the wood what you can. But, that feed room on the other side is attached to the hip roof barn on this end. So, it's kind of like a letter Z, how it connects. So there's going to be nothing to hold up that feed room portion, and I'd rather save it. The nice thing is that the previous owners, the tenant who was leasing the land, put a new roof on it, so if we can kind of straighten things out, we've got the new roof. Well, newish. It's probably been there 10 years now, but you can see I've been kind of parking the manure spreader up here sideways, and it's been so cold that I took a break from it for a little while. But if I get that manure spreader right in there, it'd be a whole lot easier. As I get further away from that door, I'm having to carry everything back here. So this was a service department backhoe for a city, wasn't it? I don't remember where it came from at this point. It's been too long. But I remember when he got it, I thought, what are we going to do with a backhoe? But whatever floats your boat, buddy, go ahead and get it. So it's a 755B, and I was ready to do the work on it myself. I was getting so frustrated about it. He's got the floor thing out of it, so some raccoons have probably been up in here. I did check, and I didn't see anything last time, but the rubber mat that's in the bottom is all chewed up. But we've got all good glass. That's always a hard thing. It's got an enclosed cab. It's got probably an old CB that probably actually works. We could hook up the CB in the house and talk to each other. Ooh, heat? So he'll have to teach me how to use this because I have never even been in it when it was running. I actually have a video in the Family Fun and Homeschooling playlist of Jack no, maybe he was on, maybe that was the bulldozer. I'll have to go back and check. Anyways. So how wide is our bucket on this? We're always pacing things off with our feet because we're about a perfect 12 inches.
7 foot 7 inches.
Okay.
7 foot 8 inches.
Yeah. And see, I saw some tractors that were for sale and they were bragging about the size of their bucket, and I thought, well, it's too big of a bucket for that size of a little tractor, you know, on little Jubilees. You guys know I like the N series and the Jubilees for my Ford tractors.
This is a 1.5.
Because I'm dealing with a clearance issue.
1.5.
What does that mean?
1.5 yards.
Oh, the volume of dirt it'll scoop.
Yeah.
Okay. So as he tinkers around with this, he's got the charger on it, he's got some turnover on it. We're going to do another old start and cold start. He's going through, making sure everything's oiled and greased. We had a little bit of a warm up yesterday and the day before. Today is not as warm as it was supposed to be at all. It is feeling cold and I don't have a hat on. So I'm supposed to read this before I operate it, but the writing is too little and he wants me to crank. So I'm going to do this for him. He wants to see if the fuel's going to go. Turn it. Woo! Did you hear my big oh? I was actually out shopping and getting some supplies for him, and he called me and said, get these other things and come back here, so that I skipped my grocery shopping so that he could work on this. And that's so worth it to me. I can't tell you the things that make me happy. Okay. Protect the engine and hydraulic components. Do not exceed half throttle for the first 5 minutes of operation. Idle engine for 1 minute before shutdown after full load operation. Good to know.
That's because it's got a turbo.
Oh. He just said that's because it's got a turbo. There are so many. We have a full manual about everything on this, and I remember looking through it trying to find out stuff about the starter, and I never got anywhere with it. Is this an hour meter, not a miles?
Hours. Got 2,600 hours. They never really used it.
So 2,600 hours on it. I do remember when we picked it up, the temperature gauge wasn't working right, and he was worried about it overheating. He was going to drive it from where we picked it up, and we ended up stopping, going back and getting a trailer, and then loading it onto a trailer. And he found out through the short time that we did have it here that it just wasn't working. So you'll have to remember that, and
Okay.
we'll get that worked on.
Now crank on it a little bit. Okay, hold on. Alright, see off?
Yeah.
There you go.
Uh-huh.
Alright, we'll get some fuel to it. The lift pump isn't pumping,
Okay.
so we're gonna fix that.
There's no power. Just broken wire. Hey there, Snoopy. What you doing? There's some kind of a solenoid thing on the back here. What's that for? Oh, rear wiper control. So here you can see the brand new battery ends that I got for him, or cable ends. And this is the pump that we had borrowed. It was off of this. Why'd you take it off of this? For something else?
I fixed the lift pump. They didn't want to fix the lift pump, so they put the electric pump on it.
Oh.
So I put a brand new lift pump on, took this off, and now the lift pump's junk.
Oh, okay. So this is what we were using on
Just to get it fired for now.
the old Chevy truck.
I'm going to put their old lift pump back on. That's how they got the problem solved.
I see.
They just gave up on the lift pumps and
Uh-huh.
put an electric on it. So we just kept it.
Handy. We don't get rid of anything. You've seen our shop and the organization process that I'm trying to work through, and it gets cold and you don't want to be out there, so you quit and work on something else for a little while.
We might also have a problem with that suction, so we're just going to
What's the suction do?
pull it from this is the fuel tank.
Uh-huh.
This line right here that we just disconnected from goes right down on the bottom of the tank through that fitting. And there may be an issue there, so
I think we might need some industrial yellow paint. If you've watched my old videos, I will paint anything. I don't care what it is. I can't stand having a bunch of rusty old crap around. I've used a lot of this industrial paint colors that they make from Rust-Oleum, and I love them. They need to sponsor me and give me some money for all the painting videos I've done. I went through almost a whole gallon yesterday of their industrial red. It says high performance. It's so nice.
new wire strippers too. Wire nuts, wire strippers.
Yeah, well, I was checking out and I remembered we needed little wire nuts, and I was not wanting to go back. If you know Menards, they have like two sections of checkouts. I was on the far end. I thought, nah, my foot's still healing.
Hold this one right here.
Oh, sure.
And then hold this one right here. Okay?
Am I going to get zapped?
No, no. Hold that one like that with your fingers. Just hold it on there.
Okay, and am I grounded? Even though I'm in snow?
Easy. Good.
Okay.
Now let me put it down.
He says I'm not going to get zapped, that it's DC, that it's direct. Okay,
Now take the blue one and touch it to the positive. Anyway. Ooh, keep going. Okay. Here it comes.
it's working, I can hear it.
Alright, knock it off. Oh, there came some air. Okay. Now goes some more. Keep going. Air. That's good.
It's raining
That's good.
fuel.
Alright. I'll look her up.
Okay. These were leftover wires from our ceiling fan installation. That's why you keep everything. Wasn't that handy? simple things make me happy.
Now we'll actually kind of pinch the wires down
Okay.
and pinch them in there and just kind of get it so it'll run on its own.
So what are you messing with there? You had a cap off to let the air purge?
Hold the line out.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd those wires go?
Why is there a built-in shelf for starting fluid?
It has probably had an ether button inside.
Oh. And this has a block heater or no?
Yep.
Did you say yes?
Yep.
I'm wearing my hood instead of my hat and I can't hear anything.
What?
Exactly. You know, it's just what? This was the problem where I was saying that I wanted to just work on it myself. I started looking at all these videos about people replacing their starters, and they had a 555 Ford tractor, and they could move the bucket. This arm, the lift arm, is in the way, and I don't know how he did it for as big as he is, but I was trying to figure out how to do it. He thought it was just a bad, solenoid on the starter?
Well, see up in through here, the Ford style solenoid is right up here.
Okay.
I thought that could be it, but and it still could be, but I think it's the starter.
Okay.
So we'll actually get some nice eyelets and wire this in right while we're getting this backhoe, because now we have to check everything out in the backhoe since it's been sitting.
What kind of eyelets do you want? There was the types that we had.
When we get this moved up to the shop.
Okay. You had those yellow ones.
Yeah, it's good. We'll do this better. We're just doing this to get it
Okay.
out of here. Every time I go back for anything, I gotta walk back through the mud and the snow to get tools.
Yeah, everything melted yesterday and a little today.
So when it fires up, we'll get it up to the shop.
He's so positive. He says when it fires up,
It's gonna run.
not if. You got some serious lights on this. We don't have lights on our other items. We looked into wiring with these new LED lights that they have so that we can do hay pickup when it gets to be nightfall or dark or on the verge of dark. Because of that pickup wagon, you can't see the bales and see ahead of you. So we're trying to run, flashlights, and they don't hold a charge. If any of you have information for these light kits that you use on your tractors for add-ons, let me know, because we definitely need to add something. We'll be out there making hay in the 90-degree weather in the night in no time. When it's 100 degrees, you need to do it at night.
Alright. Whoop, 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 whoop. Whoop.
Something's leaking.
And we turn this hose just blew. Little return hose up there. That's a problem.
Yeah.
Okay, go in there and try to start it.
Okay. See, every time we walk around it, it's just turned into mush and slush. I put my old boots on. My new boots are a little bit narrow and they were pinching the side of my foot where that bone is still healing. I'm sacrificing wet feet instead. Okay, are you ready?
Yeah, go ahead. Alright, now we'll switch that line. It was blowing fuel right at me.
Uh-huh. Yay!
The return line coming from the injectors back to the tank just blew up when we put the electric pump on it all dry.
Uh-huh.
So we need a little piece of line about like that.
Okay.
And she'll...
Same stuff that you got there?
Same stuff, different diameter. We had some.
Okay.
So I got to get down in through and
Okay.
spend 3 cents.
Good job! And what did we do so far? Can of starting fluid? $2.
Never needed it.
Your new ends.
Never needed the can of starting fluid because it was...
Yeah,
wasn't getting
the other problem. Well, great.
$50 battery from stolen from the 620.
Uh-huh.
So we'll buy another $50 battery.
Yeah, it was out anyway. Okay, I'm gonna charge up my battery on this, and you go get what you need. And I'm gonna go get another slice of pizza. Did I do that?
No, I did it.
Okay.
Alright, there's a cooler.
Did I do that?
There's a cooler that is completely rusted out.
Uh-huh.
And
We're leaking hydraulic.
That's probably expensive.
Oh no, a hydraulic cooling unit.
Yep, rotted out from sitting around.
So we're getting on eBay and looking for some parts tonight. But you got it running. That's okay. It's gonna be dark soon.
Well, the machine loaded salt
Oh yeah.
in the winter
from
their salt pile into trucks, so that's why it's cheaper. Trouble.
Saltware, even though it was low hours. Well, that's why it had heat.
Yeah, they had a smaller backhoe than this, as they did most of that. Had a lot of hours. This had no hours.
Uh-huh. Well, yay, it started. So what motor does this have in it?
It's a 4-cylinder with a turbo, and I can't remember what motor now.
Yeah. Well, it was definitely a good day to be out here working on this because it is turning cold. I was out here shivering with no coat on just a little bit ago, and I can't believe how much the temperature dropped in about the hour's time that I was inside. That pizza was so good. Then the baby fell asleep on me, so of course coming out in the cold was hard to do. So that's going to do it for this video today, everybody. We'll go in, we'll see about parts, we'll look through our owner's manual, and this is going to be a series. So we'll see you next time when we're doing the repair on those hydraulics. Thanks for watching, everybody. Remember to hit that thumbs up button, and we're going to get this thing going. This is the year. Do one last thing before you go. Don't forget to hit that like button, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. Bye-bye.